Rohan had always loved rivers. As a child, he would spend hours at the edge of the town's wide, slow-flowing river, folding small sheets of paper into boats and setting them afloat. Each boat carried a wish, a dream, or a secret he couldn't speak aloud. Some boats drifted smoothly, guided by gentle currents. Others capsized instantly, torn by rocks or rough ripples. Yet, Rohan never stopped. He believed that every paper boat, no matter how fragile, had the power to reach somewhere, to become something, to touch a distant life. Years passed, and Rohan grew into a young man. The river remained the same, serene yet unpredictable, but life had changed. Dreams he once cherished had been buried under responsibilities, disappointments, and fears. His paper boats had vanished, swept away by time and circumstance. He walked through days that felt gray, predictable, and unremarkable. And sometimes he caught himself staring at the riverbank, longing for the simplicity and hope of childhood. One rainy afternoon, feeling restless and unsure of himself, Rohan returned to the river. The sky was heavy with clouds, and rain spattered against the water's surface, forming ripples that danced unpredictably. He found a small, dry piece of paper and folded it into a boat, remembering the ease with which his younger self had done so. For a moment, he hesitated. He felt foolish, too old for childish games, too weary to believe in fleeting hopes. But then he noticed the current, a steady, persistent pull of the river, carrying debris, leaves, and water birds' reflections downstream. It reminded him of life, unpredictable, flowing, relentless. With a sigh, he placed the paper boat on the surface. It wobbled, tilted, then began to drift, following the invisible guidance of the current. Rohan felt a flutter of something long forgotten, hope. In the weeks that followed, Rohan returned every day. He folded boats of all sizes, experimenting with shapes, weights, and folds, laughing when they sank, celebrating when they sailed. And with each boat, he began to fold not just paper, but pieces of his own courage, determination, and unspoken dreams. Some boats carried simple wishes. May I find work I love. May my family be safe. May I have the courage to speak my heart. Others carried bigger, riskier dreams. May I create something lasting. May I follow the path I fear. One evening, as twilight draped the river in shades of violet and gold, Rohan noticed a child watching him from the opposite bank. Her eyes were wide, curious, and shy. She had seen his paper boats float downstream for weeks, and now she wanted to try. Tentatively, she crossed the riverbank, paper in hand. Rohan smiled and nodded, guiding her hands as she folded her first boat. Together, they sent it into the current. The small boat wobbled, teetered, and then drifted confidently, guided by the same invisible force that had carried his childhood vessels. Rohan realized then that hope is never solitary. Dreams, once set afloat, carry ripples that reach beyond oneself. One small act of courage or faith can inspire others, even if its effect is unseen, even if the outcome is uncertain. The river was a metaphor for life, unpredictable, sometimes rough, sometimes gentle, yet always moving forward, carrying the seeds of possibility wherever it flows. Seasons changed. Rohan continued folding boats, even as he pursued career, relationships, and responsibilities. Each paper vessel was a reminder that life's storms, failures, losses, doubts could not stop the current. They could knock boats over, tear them, or capsize them, but the river itself always moved. And every time a boat stayed afloat, he felt the fragile but resilient power of hope. Years later, Rohan returned to the river as an old man. The paper boats were fewer, replaced by memories, but the lesson remained. The child who had watched him all those years ago had grown, inspired by his small acts, and now guided others to set their own dreams afloat. Rohan smiled, recognizing the enduring truth. Dreams, like paper boats, may be fragile, but they are meant to sail. And even if they sink, even if storms strike, each attempt matters. Each journey shapes not only the dreamer, but the river itself, the lives touched, the courage sparked, the hope spread. As twilight descended, Rohan folded one final boat. He whispered a quiet prayer into it, set it upon the river, and watched it drift. The current embraced it, carrying it gently into the unknown, and Rohan felt a peace he had never known. He understood that life, like the river, was not about controlling the path, but about letting go, setting intentions, and trusting that even fragile dreams could travel farther than one ever imagined. The paper boat floated away, small against the vast river, but brilliant in its persistence. A simple vessel of hope, a testament to resilience, a quiet declaration that even the tiniest spark can illuminate the world.